If you don't want to build a PC yourself, I completely understand that. Maybe you don't have the time or energy to do so, or maybe you just don't want to mess it up. In that case, you should buy a pre-built PC. However, there are so many options in the market right now, and considering that some of them are a complete scam, finding the right one is not an easy task. That's why if you are looking for a gaming PC that's already built for you, achieves high FPS in your favorite games with no stutters, and on top of that, it fits your budget and needs, then this is the right video for you. I will show you specific pre-built PC recommendations for 1080p, 1440p and 4K resolution. The link to all of these pre-built gaming PCs will be down below in the video description with the latest pricing and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's start. With the first one, we have the best pre-built PC for under $1,000. This PC is the Skytech Nebula from Amazon, and I've been recommending this one for a while now because of how insane the price to performance is. This system is ideal if you want to play at 1080p resolution, high to ultra settings, even in high demanding titles, or if you want to play high FPS in esports shooters such as Valorant, Fortnite, CS2, and these type of games. With this system, you can also play games at 1440p resolution, high to ultra settings, even the high demanding ones if you turn on DLSS, which is the upscaler from Nvidia. The key PC components are the RTX 4060 graphics card, which is a really good Nvidia GPU for 1080p and even 1440p resolution. Then you get an i5-13400F processor, which is a really good mid-range CPU, alongside 16 gigs of RAM and 1TB of SSD. In terms of the exact level of performance, I bought this system myself. I made a complete review about it with benchmarks, and I was able to average over 88 FPS in the most high demanding games out there, including games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, in this same test, but this time at 1440p resolution with DLSS quality on, I was able to average around 80 FPS, which is still a really good level of gaming performance considering we are talking about high demanding titles at 1440p resolution. And then in esports shooters, competitive settings at 1080p, I was able to average 330 plus FPS, and in some games I was able to average over 470 FPS, including CS2 and Valorant. So you can easily fit a 360Hz monitor, possibly a 540Hz one, depending on the esports shooter that you are going to be playing. So very high FPS in these type of games. And in my opinion, what makes this system so appealing is the price. Right now going for $849, which in my opinion makes it the best pre-built gaming PC out there for under $1,000. Now keep in mind that the price might be different when you are watching this video. If you want to jump up from 1080p resolution to 1440p and you want to get faster performance, then I recommend you getting the next system, which is the best value 1440p gaming PC. This one is ideal if you want to play at 1440p on high to ultra settings in the most high demanding titles and still achieve a really smooth level of gaming performance with no DLSS on, by the way, so native resolution, and you can also use this system for 1080p very high FPS. But in my opinion, the main selling point of this system is that you are getting the best 1440p resolution gaming in terms of price to performance. By the way, the name of this system is the AVS Ruby from Amazon, and you can run games at 4K resolution if you want to, and if you are okay with turning on DLSS, which as I said before is the upscaler from Nvidia. The key components feature the RTX 4070 Super, which is in my opinion one of the best value graphics cards out there for 1440p resolution. That's why I call this one the best 1440p value gaming PC. And then for the processor, you get the Ryzen 7 7700X, which is a great CPU and is also very upgradable over time. Let's say down the line you want to upgrade up to the fastest CPU in the market, then you can replace this CPU without having to replace your entire motherboard. So this is a very upgradable system over time. Then you get 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, which is going to be ideal for content creation and streaming. So if you are into streaming while gaming, this system is ideal. And last but not least, you get a 1TB SSD. And in terms of the level of performance that you can achieve with this system, you can achieve over 108 FPS on average at 1440p resolution, high to ultra settings in high demanding titles, which is a very high number considering these are high demanding games. Then if you want to use this system for 1080p, you can expect over 120 FPS when it comes to high to ultra ultra settings in high demanding titles. So this is a very future-proof system for 1080p in case you want to play at this resolution for the next few years. And then if you want to play at 4K, if you turn on the DLSS, you can expect from 70 to 80 plus FPS on average, high to ultra settings, depending on the exact game that you are playing. By the way, if you want to play easy to run games such as Minecraft or GTA 5, you will not need to turn on any upscaler even at 4K resolution, because the level of performance is going to be amazing regardless. And last but not least, for esports shooters, you can expect well over 360 plus FPS at 1080p competitive settings, so you can fit a 360Hz monitor if you want to. The price as of right now is $1,400, and even though it's not the cheapest system out there, for under $1,500 you are getting one of the best Prebuilt PCs out there, and because of its price to performance, I think that this system is the best value gaming PC overall in the entire market. And honestly, it's the best 1440p value system I've ever seen on a Prebuilt PC. Now, if you want to play esports games and you want to max out your monitor resolution, but you still don't want to spend over $2,000, then I recommend you getting the next system, which is the best value esports PC. So this one is going to be ideal if you want to play games like Fortnite, Valorant, CS2, Apex Legends, and games of that nature, while maxing out the FPS number that you can achieve and without having to spend a lot of money. Now again, this one is not cheap, but you get the fastest CPU in the entire market, and to play those esports games high FPS, the CPU is quite important, so having the fastest CPU is going to make this PC the best value esports system. Trust me, most gaming PCs out there with this CPU are going to be way more expensive. This is the Skytech Prism 3, and it features the RX 7800 XT graphics card, which is slightly slower than the RTX 4070 Super from the last system, so you are losing some performance in high demanding titles, but don't worry, it's not a huge drop, it is actually very small, so you will not even notice a difference. And then you get the Ryzen 9 7900X3D for the CPU, which as I said before is one of the fastest CPUs in the entire market, and that's why I am recommending this system. Then you get 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, so this one is still amazing for streaming and content creation, and then you get a 1TB SSD. In terms of the exact level of performance, you can expect well over 500 plus FPS on average in esports games competitive settings, so you can easily fit a 540Hz 1080p monitor or a 360Hz 1440p one. So again, if you want to max out your monitor refresh rate without having to spend the most amount of money like other systems that I will be mentioning in a second, then this is going to be the perfect system for you. And in terms of the level of performance for high demanding titles, you can expect 100 plus FPS at 1440p high to ultra settings in high demanding games. So as I said before, it is a very small drop from the last one, because with the last one you can achieve around 108 FPS, so that's an 8 FPS difference only, but you are getting much faster performance in esports games. Now the price as of right now is $1,780, which is quite more expensive than the last one, but in my opinion it is worth the price difference if you want to compete in esports games. Otherwise, if your favorite games are story games, high demanding ones, high to ultra settings, and you want the best visuals, then the last one is a much better system in terms of price to performance. Keep in mind that right now this value esports PC is going on a $300 discount, so maybe when you're watching this video it's going to be $300 more expensive, but if you see it at this price point, I do think that it's a pretty good deal for esports games. Now, before we get into the best 1440p gaming PC in the entire market, if you are finding valuable information so far, subscribe and hit the bell icon, that way you get notified when I upload new content and you get to learn more about computers. Now, with the next one we have the best performing 1440p system overall in the entire market, and you can also use this system for 4K high to ultra settings. This one is the O11 Vision, and it is ideal if you just want to max out the level of performance that you can achieve at 1440p resolution. Whether you want to play high demanding titles or esports shooters, you are going to be getting the highest amount of FPS for the price that you are paying, because you get one of the fastest graphics cards in the market for 1440p, and you still get the fastest CPU in the entire market, so you are not losing any performance when it comes to your esports shooters compared to the last PC that was mainly focused on esports games. Now, this system is not cheap, but it's definitely not as expensive as other systems that I will be mentioning in this video, and as I said before, you can use it for 4K resolution high to ultra settings with no issues. The key components feature the RTX 4070 Ti Super graphics card, which in my opinion is the best 1440p graphics card out there, and then you get a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D processor, which is the fastest CPU in the entire market. Then you get 32 gigs of RAM and a 1TB SSD, so ideal for streaming as well. And in terms terms of the exact level of performance, well, you can expect over 120 FPS on average at 1440p in the most high demanding games on high to ultra settings, and you can expect 70 plus FPS at 4K resolution. Of course, if you turn on DLSS, instead of achieving 70 plus FPS in high demanding games at 4K, you will be able to achieve around 90 to 120 plus FPS depending on the exact game and the settings. And then when it comes to esports shooters, you can also expect 500 plus FPS, so you can max out any monitor refresh rate for those type of games. Now, the total price for this system is $2,000, which is once again not the cheapest one, but if you want the best performing 1440p system out there, I think that this one is definitely going to be the best option for you. And if you want to play at 4K resolution instead, then I recommend you getting the next system, which is the best value 4K ultra gaming PC. This one is once again the O11 Vision, but this is the upgraded version, and it is ideal if you want to play at 4K resolution in the most high demanding titles, still achieve a really smooth level of performance, and you don't want to spend more than $3,000 on a system. You can also use this PC for 1440p high FPS right now, and also if you want a more future-proof 1440p system for you to play at 1440p down the line high to ultra settings and still get great performance in the next few years. And you can do content creation at a very high level because you get 64 gigs of RAM instead of 32 gigs. And the main component here is the graphics card in the RX 7900 XTX. This graphics card is the second fastest GPU in the entire market when it comes to gaming performance, right after the RTX 4090, which is usually much more expensive. Then you get one of the fastest CPUs in the market again in the Ryzen 9 7900 X3D, 64 gigs of RAM, which as I said before is ideal for a high level of content creation, and then you get 2 TB of SSD, which is plenty of storage. In terms of the level of performance, you can expect 90 plus FPS on average at 4K ultra settings in high demanding games. By the way, this is with no FSR on, which would be the upscaler from AMD, so you can expect very high frame rates even in the most high demanding games out there, and you don't even need upscaling technology. And then in terms of esports games, since you get the fastest CPU, once again you can expect 500 plus FPS and max out any monitor refresh rate. Now, the total price for this system is $2,550 by the time of filming, which is expensive, but again, if you do not want to spend more than $3,000, I think that this is going to be the best value 4K system that you can get. And then if you just want the best of the best and you don't mind spending the extra and going for a system that's over $3,000, then I recommend you getting the fastest gaming PC in the entire market in the Skytech Prism PC from Amazon. This one has the fastest GPU and CPU combo in the market, and as I said before, you are getting the fastest gaming PC for every resolution, whether that's 1080p, 1440p or 4K, but I would recommend you buying a 4K monitor for this PC if you want to have the best visuals. For the graphics card, you get the RTX 4090, which is the fastest one in the market for both native resolution and also for ray tracing performance in case you want to play with ray tracing enabled. And then you get a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D, one of the fastest CPUs in the market, as I've been saying throughout this video, and then you get 32 gigs of RAM and 2 TB of SSD. You can expect well over 110 plus FPS on average at 4K in the most high demanding games high to ultra settings, which is an insane level of performance, and it is the #1 GPU by far compared to the other ones. Then you can of course max out any monitor refresh rate for esports games, and the price is $3,200, but it runs out of stock quickly, so if you see it at this price point, I would recommend you buying right now, because even though this system is expensive, most PCs out there with the fastest CPU and GPU combo are going to cost you well over $3,500. So yes, it is expensive, but it is cheaper than other systems with the same CPU and GPU combo, and trust me, any other system will not give you more FPS than this one. And the only time where I would recommend you spending more is if you are a professional content creator. In that case, I recommend you getting the best content creation PC of this video, which is the Panorama gaming system. This one has the RTX 4090 once again, but you get a faster CPU when it comes to content creation and productivity work in the Ryzen 9 9950X. In terms of gaming performance, you will be getting basically the same level of performance as the last system, so you can still achieve really smooth frame rates at 4K in the highest settings, so you are getting the fastest CPU for gaming as well. But if you are a professional content creator, this system is going to be quite faster than the last one. Here you also get 64 gigs of RAM instead of 32 gigs of RAM, which is crucial if you are a professional content creator, and the total price is around $4,250, making it the most expensive system out there. But remember, it is only a good investment if you want to do content creation or 3D rendering or something that's going to require a lot from your system. If you are going to be doing just gaming, then then if you want the fastest performance, get the last one and save $1,000 because you are not going to be getting faster performance from this one. One thing that you must know is that if you are actually willing to build a PC yourself, you might get better price to performance. So if you're looking for a PC build, then I highly recommend you watching my video on the best PC builds of the month for every budget and every resolution. You will find that video in the top right of the screen and down below in the video description alongside every pre-built PC that I've mentioned today. And remember, I will be updating those links with the latest pricing and availability. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.